You are about to see mutilated corpses, burning tank carcasses, and all out mayhem, brought to you by Frontline Fatalities.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 71 of Frontline Fatalities, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, Tommy, and as always, FatalSaint. What's up, man?
What's up, Tommy? Time for another competitor shoutcast, and today we are back on the fields of Angerville with Freestyler versus Sandland on reverse positions. It's looking to be, from the file size, a real slugfest. It's like seriously long, probably.
It is going to be a long one, so I think that's a good reason to get on with the show and get into the game. So, from the 5-second mark, let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
And I'll be following Freestyler for this game, while you take on Sandland as the Wehrmacht. And we've got nothing special going on for Freestyler. 2 engineers start building his reactors first NGs, and, you know, it's going to be interesting to see which side he actually focuses on, as the Americans starting on the south here. So it's always interesting to see some players, you know, before like the left-hand side more because of openness when you played Wehrmacht, for example. Some people like the right-hand side. It's kind of 50-50. He's splitting his 2 engineers up. Would you say that? Do you usually do that if you're playing as Americans from this position, splitting up, or do you always focus on one side?
I favor a multiple engineer start for Angerville when I play as US, because you've kind of got to go for both sides. If you just go for one, then your opponent's just going to go really hardcore camp on the other. And you sort of set yourself up to get pinned very easily as well, because obviously if you only cap one side, then there's just one cutoff separating you from the rest of your resources. But Sandland actually did something very interesting. He went for a 3 Pioneer start, but actually is capping all 3 of them on the left-hand side, which is a bit unorthodox. I would have expected with a 3 Pioneer start to send one of them over to cap those small fuel and munitions points over on the right. And actually we have a double vehicle opening as well.
Yeah, we have a Jeep from Freestyler and a bike from Sandland, so this is going to be interesting. It's like gonna be a repair party. Who can repair their vehicle the fastest and keep it alive? But this Jeep right now seems to be a little bit in trouble. He's getting a little bit blocked. He's not taking that much damage, however. And the bike and the Jeep seems to be fairly equal when it comes to damage taken so far.
The Jeep bike thing is always very, very close. I mean, the Jeep generally has a little bit of the edge, but as you can see, we've got 2 Pioneers here versus just 1 engineer, and it really comes down to who puts their focus fire micro to the better use, because, you know, if you focus fire those repairing engineers, you can put down a lot of damage very quickly.
What is going on? Hell's Angels action from Sandland.
Bike. Interesting stuff.
I don't think I've seen this in a while. You generally don't really see Hell's Angels action unless it's in 2v2s, would you say?
Yeah, it's a very unorthodox opening, but I guess it kind of fits with a multiple Pioneer opening because he has all the capping power he needs for this very early game. But 2 bikes are gonna struggle against even this single rifle squad, and the single rifle with Jeep. It's gonna be... I don't know if they can handle this kind of firepower.
I don't know, you know, proper focus firing from a rifle squad against a bike at close quarters does a load of damage, and bike health declines very rapidly when you get focus fire down by rifleman squads. We did have the cutoff taken for Sandland outside of Freestyler's base, so Freestyler's not actually getting any resources whatsoever. He's still sitting on 0 munitions total because he got cut off before he got the 16 munitions capped on the right-hand side of the map. So right now, Sandland is looking to be sitting fairly pretty. He's got not that much, I see. He's only got the 1 munitions point connected, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have very much resources, but I guess it's better than having no resources like Freestyler.
Yeah, I guess he's one-upping Freestyler with a little bit, you know, compared to nothing at all.
Yeah, he's got a bit of munitions, and now he's got out his first Volk squad, so now he's got his first proper kind of fighting unit, putting down a lot of hurt onto these rifles here, while the Jeep is getting repaired back to full health by the engineers who came back onto the field. Second rifle squad now out on the field, and Freestyler having a very tough time capping his cutoff back. He's going to be without resources for quite a long time.
He's been taking quite a lot of casualties on his engineers. This is the second time an engineer squad goes down to one man, and I haven't really seen Sandland taking any real casualties. I think he's lost like one PIO so far. The rest of the firepower has gone down on his 2 bikes, and they can just be topped off by pioneers over and over again, so it's not really losing any manpower.
And that's the great thing about this kind of an opening. I mean, it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing, and the longer that he can keep these bikes alive, you know, he's kept them alive through the real danger zone, where they would be really vulnerable, which is in the very early game, when we saw that little push earlier, but he managed to keep them both alive, and now they're going to be very powerful for the next couple of minutes as they just amplify the rest of his tier 1, which now consists of 2 Volks in addition.
Yeah, we did have Jeep start from Freestyler, and his 3rd rifle just popped out of the barracks, and he has actually taken the cutoff on the right-hand side. He did manage to force off the pioneers in the building, and the 2nd bike actually went over to the left-hand side to join up with his other Hells Angels brother in arms to fight off against the Jeep and the rifles on the left-hand side instead. And, you know, Freestyler had a pretty good, hefty fuel income for just, you know, the past minute and a half or so. With both of the 16 fuels in his possession. He's losing both of them right now, but he has had them for quite a while, and he's already banking 60 fuels right now.
Well, that's not bad, actually. 60 fuel. He could. I mean, he's actually just lost both of them, hasn't he, in the last couple of seconds. But if he can just hold on to one of them now, he should be able to get out a fast M8 pretty quickly, which is generally my tech choice that I favor on this map, just because the way that the hedges split the map so vertically, an M8 can allow you to secure one entire side for yourself, and a pack really has a very hard time dealing with it. But I can see Freestyler is upgrading something from his barracks.
He is going bars right now. That's where his 60 fuel went. He spent all of it on the bar upgrade for his rifles. So his 3 rifles, I still see, yep, he's got Jeep and 3 rifles. That's the extent of tier 1 so far, with bars coming in as well. And he did manage to force off the Pios on the right-hand side fuel and is capping it right now. And I'm still amazed that engineer actually lived, because it just walked past a mine. If you see Sandland put a mine between the hedges there.
I see
on the
that,
right-hand
yeah.
side. But the engineer guy, it was only one man in the group left, so he just went around the hedge, and he just like hugged the hedge, and he didn't actually hit the mine. But here comes the 2 bikes now, and he might actually retreat over this mine now, however, and might lose him. Sniper misses. Oh, there goes an engineer. First casualty of the war for Freestyler.
That's unfortunate. Over here on the left-hand side, though, we had a nice bar push, taking advantage of the fact that there's no MG out until just now from Sandland. And actually, you know, I said M8's good, but bars are also very good. Not quite as effective from the north, from standard positions, but from reverse positions, they can be very, very powerful going bars first, because it is very open and it's very easy to flank.
Yeah, and you can also camp your opponent's cutoff, just like the Wehrmacht player can camp your cutoff as the Americans if you start in the north. I guess with bars you can like camp the green cover hay bales, and it's really hard to approach the rifles there.
And I've seen some really neat stuff in the past as well, with like really quick MG nests on that cutoff as well. You can do all kinds of weird stuff. When you have these kind of brutal cutoffs, it does allow for quite a lot of interesting tactics. One of the bikes gets very low, damaged engine, but the MG42 is now out, with more Volks coming out to support. The Sniper's getting charged down, but he's probably going to be safe with the amount of support that he has nearby.
Yeah, and he can always, Sandland can always push the rifles with his 2 bikes, or at least the one that still has an engine intact. The other one was very, very damaged by 2 rifles actually focus firing him down, but they did not manage to polish it off completely, and is still alive and kicking. He's probably going to be topped off by some pioneers. There we go, Sandland on top of his micro, repairing his light vehicles from its tier 1. And the second bike was just chasing off the remaining of the rifles and just checking out so he could go there unopposed and start capping down the map again. Because, yeah, he did lose the fuel on the left-hand side, and Freestyler is still in possession of the right-hand side fuel with the 16 fuel income plus the 10. So he's got a 26 income with 55 in the bank almost already. So he could keep taking, you know, fairly soon. 2 minutes, and he'd had enough fuel to put down the supply yard and the motor pool.
Yeah, I mean, it's very solid field denial from him so far. Sandland, he's just about to finish his tier 2 tech, but he's barely got enough fuel to even build the Krieg barracks once it's finished teching. That's how much he's been under pressure for the fuel so far. And the only thing that's allowing him to put up that Krieg barracks is actually the fact that he took that +5 fuel right next to his base. So here we go, Krieg barracks now going up. He's got plenty of surplus of manpower. That's one thing that he has done very well at so far, is conserving his manpower. Not very many Volks lost, no MG crew members lost, and of course the bikes are just soaking up the damage.
Yeah, I think Sandland is doing really good in the manpower war. He's not really taking many casualties. This Pyro might go down on the bottom left-hand side. A flamethrower was upgraded on an engineer that was hiding at the map border on the left-hand side, but he did manage to retreat that Pyro in time back to base without taking it as a complete casualty. This Jeep now is going after I think it's just plugging away on the MG crew.
There's a flank coming in. The Flamer, though, he's all on his own. Now finally getting joined by some rifles here, but there's 2 mines right in front of one of those squads. One of the bikes now getting very low, damaged engine, but the Flamer engineers are getting focus fire down. They're probably going to go down here. They do go down to the bikes. They get focus fire down for the Fatherland, keeping Sandland in this engagement here, making those Volks and MGs very, very tough. One of the mines gets tripped by a pinned rifle squad. Another rifle squad is trying to thread the needle and get through, but he's just bleeding an awful lot of manpower here, Freestyler. It was not a bad idea for an attack, but Sandland is just so close to his own base. He's got his back to the wall, and it's just very, very tough to flank a Bear player who is just camping a very few sectors there.
He's really just protecting the 16 fuel on the left-hand side, mainly. You know, he needs his income so he can keep teching, you know, in case he needs to keep teching. But right now I see he's putting up his campcraft center in the base, so most likely he's going to go for some form of veterancy, infantry vet, I'm presuming, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, with just the MG and the sniper, I mean, he could be cute and get some vehicle veterancy for those bikes. But,
that would be funny.
I imagine, yeah, he's probably going to go for infantry veterancy now. He's got his first grenadier out, and he's now, yeah, he's getting his first round of infantry veterancy. Meanwhile, healing is also coming up for Freestyler. He's got his 4 rifles now, all getting healed up with his triage. The Jeep's still alive. Some nice micro there, allowing it to get 4 kills, while the bikes have 5 and 6 kills respectively. Wow. So
and
they are
still alive.
Really making their money back. Yeah, I mean, still being alive, that's one of the good things about bars. As long as you play it right, it's really no different from fighting regular rifles. They just do a bit more damage. It's not like fighting an M8 that's going to 2-shot it.
Yeah, and it might even also, you know, almost one-shot it combined with the Top Gunner on the M8 if it also fires on the bike a little bit, and then one main gun shot on the bike and it goes down instantly. And it's not really much you can do about it because you can't really run away from it reliably. But you can do that against bars on rifles. You can still flee. You just gotta do it a little bit faster. You know, you gotta be on top of your micros so you don't leave your bike there for, you know, 1 or 2 seconds too long is enough for the bar focus fire to take down your bike. So
definitely,
you really gotta pay attention and get out of there. But still, both bikes and the Jeep still alive at past 10 minutes of this replay already. Generally, they go down, you know, to a Faust or something. The Jeep goes down, and especially if the American player gets bars and it focus fires. If 2 bar rifles find a bike somewhere, it just dies instantly. It's just so quick, you can't really do much about it.
These bikes are being used nicely just for harassment on these capping rifles. It's a tough decision to charge down these bikes, although actually he does get a damaged engine on one of them. They have no immediate support and it does go down, so one of the Jeeps bites the dust. We have more grenadiers out and more for the Fatherland here, keeping Sandland in this engagement near his cutoff.
I think it's going to be hard for Freestyler to break the For the Fatherland defensive play from Sandland, especially when he's camping this green cover from the hay bales. We did actually have grenade tech for Freestyler, so I don't think he's actually thrown a grenade yet, so he needs to get, you know, a good engagement somewhere and catch Sandland off guard and get a real nasty grenade in, and that can really tip the tide in his favor.
Yeah, a grenade, I don't know, against For the Fatherland, it's always a bit of a risk, because you do run the risk of not doing any damage. I imagine he got grenades to try and clear this building because he doesn't have any flamers left to clear it for him. So he does throw one grenade in, it's not dodged, but he only takes 1 casualty. Wow. That Vet 2's just kicked in as well, so those grenadiers are even tougher now. And now he's actually got this sector connected, and those Grens have popped a med kit as well. So they're very, very tough in there. There's a nice grenade dodge. But Freestyler steals the building from him.
That was a very cheeky move from Freestyler. It was kind of risky too, with only 2 men remaining on that squad. But he did have the 3 other rifles coming out of his base to reinforce those 2 rifles. So it was a little bit risky. He could have get focus fired or grenaded by a grenadier or something, you know, dodgy could have happened. But I guess he was fairly safe doing that attack when he had 3 more rifles. That forced Sandland to retreat instantly. He can't hold up with only a 1-man Volt squad and a very damaged 3-man Gren squad against 4 rifles. That's just not possible. Just get out of there.
Yeah, exactly. We have some mass capping going on over here from the right. Freestyler has sent all of his rifles over there, and there was just a single MG, so Sandland retreated it without much hesitation. And some mines now going down just to protect his cutoff there from Freestyler. Not a bad move at all, although I think Sandland can actually spot that through
I think he saw it with the bike.
fog of war with the bike, so he's going to probably... If he does make another cutoff move, he's going to have to be a little bit careful. This bike going for a bit of a base scout, I think. He may have spotted that weapon support center.
Maybe. I think he was a little bit too far away.
He didn't spot it. I just checked it with the fog of war. He didn't quite spot that weapon support center. So it depends what he does now. If he techs tier 3, which is actually exactly what he's doing, he's going to be in a very good shape. But if he had gotten more Grens or gotten vet 3, then he might have been in a bit of a tougher situation. But he's still in what I would say quite a dominant position. And there's a nice off-map artillery right between the Volk and the Sniper at the VP there, forcing both to retreat.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it with a sniper. You can get extremely unlucky and get the first shell. Even if you try to run away from the red smoke, you might still get hit by a stray shot from an off-map howitzer shoot. So it's very risky to stay around. So I think Sana did a good thing just retreating instantly, not really taking any chances. We do have the first American sniper out from Freestyler now, and I think it was a fairly good tech. It's risky now, especially since Sandland has kept teching to tier 3. But, you know, when seeing Grenadiers and Vet 2 getting a sniper, not a bad idea.
Well, this is strange now. Sandland, he's gotten hit that tier 3 tech, but now he's getting more veterancy for himself rather than taking to that Puma. He's actually getting himself support veterancy, which I guess is just for his single MG and single sniper.
It's cheap.
It is cheap, but honestly, if it was me, I would just go straight to the Sturm Armory. He is getting that Sturm Armory, but he's just going to be a little bit behind on getting multiple Pumas, but that's okay. Because, as I said, he's still in a very good position, and Freestyler is forced to use all of his rifles over on this single side just to try and hold off Sandland's forces here.
The Jeep now from Freestyler actually Vet 1 getting combat repaired while a Vol squad is firing upon him by a sweeper engineer actually. Here comes some bar rifles from Freestyler now going force off these.
Again.
Oh,
the
really?
rifles are charging past the MG. One of the squad. No, they don't. They don't get past, but there is a nice grenade there. Oh my god, clears the whole MG, but the Grenadier squad somehow gets out of there without a scratch. Second grenade just to kill some dead bodies, make sure they're really dead, and they won't just
rub it
fake
in. Rub some salt in the wound or something. We did have a Volt squad actually go down to a grenade while this major engagement on the right-hand side was going on. So 1 Volt down for Sandland so far.
And that Jeep has now got Vet 1 with 6 infantry kills. Not
Yeah.
bad at all.
Still
we also
alive.
have a medic bunker as well, worth noting, near Sandland's cutoff there. Quite a sort of passive position there, but it's already up to 2 casualties, so not too far away from getting himself his first free squad. And a Puma is now on the way, and with just a supply yard and no real proper AT tech, and the sniper still not having fired a shot, I think this Puma is going to cause quite a bit of a problem to Freestyler.
Yeah, he does have enough fuel to build his motor pool on his floating manpower right now. I think it's just waiting for a sign of something from Sandland. You know, when that Puma hits the field, he will most likely keep ticking. But the problem is, if Sandland knows that as well and really pushes his luck with the Puma and goes extremely aggressive with it against the rifles, it can cause a load of manpower damage to Freestyler without Freestyler actually having anything to counter that Puma with. At least for a little while until, you know, the motor pool is completed. And, you know, as everybody knows, if you don't go armor, as Freestyler has gone infantry right-hand side so far, he doesn't have the speedy build time of AT guns, and they take almost a full minute to complete. So that Puma is going to have a great window of opportunity right now to cause some massive damage to Freestyler's army.
And I'm just looking at the barracks, it's glowing, so I'm guessing that's got to be sticky, so you can probably hear that Puma.
Halfway
so
down.
He knows the Puma is on the field now. He needs to be careful with how he approaches the next few engagements, stick to buildings, and just try and sort of camp around this right-hand side until he has some AT. It's going to be difficult to be aggressive on the left-hand side where it's so open that Puma is just going to rip into shreds. There's second Puma out now as well, with the first strike of vehicle veterancy on the way.
Oh. As perfect taking for Sandland as we have a howitzer actually going up in Freestyler space. This, I would say, is extremely risky. He's seen one Puma, he knows it. He has stickies. But, you know, he's got a...
He cancelled it. He cancelled it. He's getting a motor pool.
Oh, God, that's good. Yeah, I think now when he saw the second Puma, he probably thought, you know, I can keep one Puma at bay with mines and stickies, but two is too much. I need some proper counter right now, so he cancelled the howitzer. That was a good choice for Freestyler. If he would have built that and spent... Because that was basically all of his fuel. These two Pumas would have just GG'd him right there. The howitzer can't really properly counter a Puma. Sure, you can get a money shot on a stationary Puma here and there, but it's not a good hard counter. It's not even, you know, a good soft counter. It's just a random counter to Pumas, really.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a bit of a late howitzer, really, relatively speaking. Most howitzers, if you're doing a straight-to-howitzer rush, you can have them up by the sort of the 13, 14-minute mark. And if he had it up there, instead of, say, getting grenades and a sniper, the sniper, of course, still, I don't even think he's fired a shot yet. He's been
I think he's fired. Yeah, I think he's been spotted once. He was forced to retreat.
Yeah, he spotted, and he hasn't fired a single shot, so he could have actually gotten a howitzer instead, and that would have left him in a much better position. That would have meant that he could have been howitzering any kind of fixed AT positions while he gets an M8 or an AT gun. Instead,
I think the sniper might be afraid of the bike, because one of the two bikes are still alive, so he needs to play it, you know,
with
calm.
8 kills now as well. And of course, he does actually have, he does get the shared veterancy from the Puma as well.
Oh yeah,
And,
that's true.
oh my god, look at all these rifles. That is an awful lot of rifles. 24 riflemen there. And the sniper finds his first shot onto a grenadier squad.
Good choice, good target for the sniper. It's going to award him the most veterancy and cost Sandland the most manpower damage. Look at this focus fire for the bar rifles. Even though there's, as you said, there were 24 rifles attacking, you know, with 2 volts, they don't gain that many benefits from veterancy, but with a med kit popped in a garrison building, they're very durable, sturdy guys.
And if they had Zeal as well, that's one of the great things about Terror Zeal is you can stick like a Gren or a Vulcan in a building, have them go down to sort of, you know, 2 or 3 men with a med kit, and they just become absolute Terminators. You cannot kill them, and they just do an awful, just an insane amount of damage. So I think we do actually have our first AT gun out now as well. So probably a good choice. You know, when there's 1 Puma out, you can go for an M8. When there's 2 Pumas out, you know, he's had the luxury to get those 2 Pumas, and so there could be a Stug on the way. But actually, it's a nice reading of tech by Sandland because he's just gotten himself a Neville.
Did have off-map use on the far right-hand side at the capping. Vet 2 Grens. The first shell and the second shell actually completely misses the Grenadiers, and they're completely
untouched. On this building here, on the building at the cutoff, forces 1 squad to get out in double quick time.
Yeah, that off-map did stop the Grenadiers from capping it, but it still decapped the right-hand side munitions from Freestyler, so you still lost the resources from it, and it didn't cause a single casualty to the Grens because the first 2 shots actually completely missed and they just retreated away. We do have a Shrek on the Grenadier now in that strong building at the cutoff.
I think that's likely just insurance against the possible M8. Oh, and the bolt goes down.
Wow. Well, I guess when you have 3 barred rifles, they do a lot of damage, even at longer ranges.
Yeah, that was a tough engagement there, but the Puma's still plugging away from an angle where the AT gun can't very easily hit him. The Jeep actually took a direct Shrek hit, but is still alive.
Still alive? How's that even possible? He took a Shrek to the front, right into the engine compartment, and he still lived. He doesn't have that much HP. Vet 1 as well, I guess. I don't know. That was a lucky Jeep. He should have died there, I think. But I guess, you know, it can also happen with Faust. The Jeep from X, if it has 100% health to get Fausted, it still lives.
Yes, exactly, yeah. No, you need to take it down a little bit before you can
it's Neville, though.
Kill. Yeah, Neville's going to pose a problem. I think, you know, he's got the 1 AT gun, and I think the best choice for Freestyler right now against Tier 3 would be to use the AT gun just to stall things out until he can get a tank depot, or until he can start rolling the OMCG. It depends how close he is to either one of those. Generally speaking, going for both OMCG and tank depot is a bit overkill, because you get tanks anyway, but I think he needs tanks, really. He needs M10s or Shermans or something. No, Jeep, what are you doing? Wow. Wow.
I hope you caught that, because I only caught the end of it. The drive-by reveal of the sniper for the counter-snipe opportunity.
That was one of the most useful Jeeps I think we've seen in a long time there. I mean, you know, he's 6 kills plus the reveal for the sniper. You know, while, you know, now Freestyler can really start plugging away with that sniper now that he has sniper superiority.
He really is. We got a sticky on a bike and also focus fire from all the board rifles from Freestyler. Takes it down before it gets into close vicinity to the allied sniper from Freestyler, saving its life. And we do have in Freestyler space a second AT gun actually being produced, which might be problematic as Sandland has gone for 2 Nebels.
2 Nebels, always good against this kind of play. And wow, one of those shells did just a huge amount of damage. One of those rifles is so low, he could actually die on retreat. And he does die on retreat.
Oh!
He collapses in the fire.
Not good. Poor rifle. What is happening?
More Pumas coming in now. Coming in for the flank on the AT gun. It's a 2-pronged attack on the AT gun with Vet 1 Pumas. I think this AT gun has sung its last song.
I guess so. Ah, that took them quite a while,
overlapping
actually.
AT guns, though. Overlapping AT guns is gonna prevent
It's gonna hide behind the
Sandland
building.
from... I mean, he's actually attack moving that AT gun now. He needs to move. He can't really afford to move that AT gun, actually, Freestyler, because otherwise he's just gonna get circle straight again. So he needs to wait for the rifle blob to appear again. 18 rifles this time.
Yeah, he lost 1 squad. 1 squad down. So 2 Volks for Sandland and, you know, a Pio or something like that. And a sniper, of course. The sniper loss being the biggest loss for Sandland's army right now, I think, because, you know, he's banking on his grenadiers, and with enemy sniper on the field, they lose
The
their
biggest loss for
effectiveness.
him in a long time, really.
this
This
is great,
sniper
though.
was... Wow, that was a bit of a miss micro there. This Puma's actually in a really bad position because if he reverses to go out through the gap in the hedge, he's going to get hit by the 57 again, but not if he moves 57 because there's...
Whoa, look at that! Neville takes down the building. Rifle barely escapes with his life, but is burning to death. Rifle goes down to double Neville of that building. That building, now you see it, now you don't.
Wow, sometimes those Nebels just do crazy, crazy shit. One last sticky to finish off. No!
Oh,
No! Oh, that's gonna
lucky
be...
critical.
That's going to be enormously frustrating. He needs to kill that now, otherwise Freestyler is going to die an early death from heart attack anxiety, because that is enough to make anybody pissed off. Rangers now.
Rangers called on. He's trying to combat repair. He's got the engine back on the very damaged Puma from destroyed to a damaged engine, but they're both basically kind of sitting ducks right now, and these 2 grenadiers are trying to decrew the AT gun so the Pumas can actually escape.
Wow,
He's not able to get it.
against these 2 very low health Pumas, this Ranger could actually get a lot of veterancy here.
He kills one of them, and he also snipes a grenadier
No.
on 3 to completely killing him.
Well, a full grand kill is always nice. That's the second major loss that Sandland's had in a little while. Is that Puma immobilized, or is he just not moving it? Because he hasn't moved it in a long time, which makes me think it's one of those weird immobilization crits where you just can't see the red on the icon.
No, he got a destroyed engine from the sticky, at least that's what it said, but there it goes, so I guess we'll never know.
I guess, yeah. Well, he's going to be able to pick up that AT gun again, or totally ignore it, whichever floats your boat. But of course, you know, both Pumas going down is obviously a huge bonus for him. Sandland now getting himself instead another Gren, which is an interesting choice. He also got himself an officer.
Yeah, I see that.
This was a few minutes ago when he was in a much more dominant position, so I guess that was a bit of light trolling, which he might regret now, not getting something more productive, because he now finds himself on much more even terms with Sandland. With Freestyler, in fact.
Freestyler, yeah. These 2 Nebels, though, are causing quite a lot of damage to Freestyler's troops, and he doesn't seem to have any counter. Yeah, because he cancelled the howitzer and is now building TD, actually, even though he's got the Rangers unlocked and 1.5 CPs in the bank. He's still going for the TD tech. It could be a good idea, considering Sandland has not built anything in the form of AT, apart from the 1 Shrek win. That's all he's got. So if he can just hide this tech for a while, and get something good out of it, like a Sherman or something, and then push his window of opportunity before Sandland banks and gets more AT, I think a Sherman can do quite a lot of damage.
The US sniper is not having a very fun time. He's just getting constantly routed off the field because Freestyler just doesn't have that field presence right now that he needs. However, the tank depot will hopefully give him the field presence. And also, I just saw Tier 4 battle phase teched by Sandland, so we might be having some Tier 4 battles.
Ooh.
It's been very mirror teching so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been very, very equal for both players. You know, they've been
Tier 1 has been
other.
against Tier 1, and the Weapon Sports Center came along with the Creed Barracks. Tier 3 against the Pumas.
Yeah, exactly.
And now it's going to be tanks versus tanks.
And we know that Sandland from previous shoutcasts, he really likes his P4s when he's playing the Wehrmacht army. So hopefully, like Sherman versus P4s, that's always a cool matchup, I think.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice grenade on a Wow, nice damage there. Vet 2 rifles. That's really going to help him, especially as both fuels are now capped.
Oh, wait, Tiga, what are you
Sandland.
doing?
Oh my.
Oh, Rangers goes down. Oh, and 18 against Nick as well.
God. What was that damage? That was insane.
Double nebble. I think there was like 2 rockets basically landing in the same place, so it was like double dot. And defensive already on the top right-hand side VP forces off the rifles from Freestyler as well. He's taken a metric crap ton of casualties in just a few minutes now, due to the nebbles mainly as well. Those 2 nebbles are
He's just down to 5 units now, isn't he? He's down to a couple of rifles.
Yep, 2 rifles, sweeper,
and
the 2 sniper. Yeah,
and there's about to be a free Gren for Sandland once his casualty gets back.
Oh yeah, that medic bunker's been sitting there the entire game. After that came up, and Freestyler really couldn't crack the left-hand side focus that Sandland was doing. He's basically just switched to the right-hand side, and I guess the medics have not been really paying attention to what's going on the right-hand side because it's out of their range.
Panzer Command completed, and a P4 is on the way.
Oh yeah.
And the Vet 2 rifles picked up a bazooka.
Well, at least he denied it from Sandland stealing it, because he doesn't want Sandland to have any more AT now, as he started pumping out Hellcats from his TD.
Well, it's not a bad idea, really. Bazookas aren't terrible weapons against Tier 3. And against, P4s, they're not so bad. They can penetrate.
Oh, the sniper's in trouble. He's walking through fire, forced to retreat. Ugh. But here comes the Hellcat now. It is basically almost completely uncountered apart from the one Shrek.
There's that one Shrek, yeah, but the Hellcat just has such little health that he
he
can't really afford to stick around. He's so close to killing that off, but he just can't afford to. There's a second Shrek now. He's got 2 single Shrek squads.
That's enough against one Hellcat, no problem.
And the P4 is now just popped out as well, so he's going to be able to use that to chase the Hellcat around.
A third Shrek.
Oh, and a third Shrek. Okay, so he's really going heavy on the Shreks here. He did have quite a lot of munitions, but I don't know, 3 Shreks with a P4, maybe a little bit overkill, but who knows? Against Tank Depot, especially against the inevitable OMCG that he knows is going to be coming along sooner or later, it's always nice to have extra AT just for those crazy double Hellcat and M8 call-ins.
Yeah, when you get rushed by 2 M8s
the
and a
Aimstrong
Hellcat.
call-in, I believe that has been call-in.
The Aimstrong calling, that's a good name for it, I think. We do have a Howitzer going out in Freestyler space, but the main problem for Freestyler right now is he's kind of running out of PopCap, because he's running out of sectors.
Yes, that's not a good place to be, running out of PopCap.
No!
And also,
very,
when you
very
have
bad
your
place.
cutoff being such aggressively taken by Sandland here, it's not much
Sandland
good either.
is attacking the cutoff at every opportunity that he gets. He's not letting up at all and taking up some form of a defensive position or something on the right-hand side. He's just pushing it over and over and over again. Very, very aggressively. This sniper needs to take a little bit of caution when there's a P4 around there.
Oh,
look at that howitzer shot! Bang on the P4. Second one almost nails it as well.
That was some nice damage done. So hey, who was saying that on maps aren't counters to tanks and vehicles? All you need to do is get a bit of luck with the aiming. And also we have a Vet 3 sniper from Freestyler now. That could be a real problem for Sandland. Even with having such a territory disadvantage, having a Vet 3 sniper is an impact that you cannot underestimate.
Why does Sandland have a P4 parked in his base? Okay, now it's moving it.
The extra range, the extra damage.
Running while cloaked.
Running while cloaked, harder to spot with detector units. He's a Vet 3 sniper. It requires a counter snipe, or it requires lots of things that are not snipeable, i.e. tanks, which I think is what Sandland's going for, because he's now got 2 P4s at Vet 1, and he's building himself a 3rd P4, so quite the P4 armada he's building now.
Yeah, the P4s can deal with the Hellcats quite reliably. It's
Oh,
not really a problem. for
no,
me.
this US sniper is playing a dangerous game. P4 is trying to squish him.
He's probably gonna need to retreat. You know, it's so hard to squish
okay.
a sniper when it's running cloaked.
Yeah, it's almost impossible. You need to get him stuck against a hedge or something like that. He's just trolling around.
I think he's scouting for his on-map or something.
Looking for the Nebel. The thing is that
there it
decrewing
is.
a Nebel isn't actually as useful as it might sound, because it resets the cooldown when it gets recrewed. So actually, it can increase the number of Nebel barrages that you take to the face.
Yeah, it does cost him. You need 2 shots, and your opponent needs to recruit with 3 men. So, you know, you get more kills per bullet, so to speak. But apart from that, it's not really good, considering the cooldown gets reset, as you said.
Oh, nice sticky with a bouncing bazooka.
Bazooka. There's a bounces on the frontal armor for P4 without skirts.
So
But both of the P4s are kind of banged up now.
Yeah, they're
These
both.
pairs.
Neither of them is in such a great condition. I'd like to see a repair bunker if he's going to go for such a tank-heavy build. But yeah, Freestyler, he's in a very dodgy position. I mean, he has the on-map, but the on-maps come along at the same time as the P4 train, so... Oh, and look at all these Grens. 4 Grens, all in a blob. I'd love to see Strafe.
Well, they won't have Strafe, considering he shows infantry so early in the game.
Yeah, unfortunately not. I don't know if he has enough anti-infantry to take this on, though. I mean, 1 Vet 3 sniper is great as long as you have a screen for him.
But
no
where's the screen?
Yeah, exactly. There's a single Hellcat and this 1 Vet 1 rifle with another rifle moving up to support, but not really enough.
Engineer goes down on the left-hand side, trying to cap the VP to P4, and...
Oh my god, one of those hits. I'm sure that Nebel rocket practically smacked that sniper on the head, but somehow he managed to get out of there without losing too much damage, taking too much damage, and he now has done, in terms of damage, 24 kills.
On map firing, most likely counter artillery on Nebel! Bullseye! Hits him right in the face. Instantly decrews it, and the gun is very damaged, so it might go down to this on map now. Ooh, very, very close, but he's just not getting it. At the same time, we have a P4 in Freestyler's base.
Dropping 200mm artillery right on top of the howitzer, which is in turn right next to this supply yard. A nasty,
almost
nasty
took the
hit.
motor pool down.
Yeah, it did almost take down the motor pool, which, to be
Didn't
honest,
really
wouldn't
hit
have been that handy. Yeah, supply yard escaped relatively unscathed, but the loss of the unmap is going to be a painful one to Freestyler to bite. You know, you have to be careful with where you put your howitzers. You know, one of the best investments you can make when you put down a howitzer is start mining off the entrances to your base, because inevitably someone's going to come along and try to kill it.
It's going to be a Pike or a P4 or a Puma scouting in your base. We did have off-map combat group used for Freestyler, 2 Hellcats, a rifle and an MG. These 2 Hellcat makes it a total of 3 now, and there is still a possibility of recrewing an AT gun, so he's going to have plenty of AT against these P4s now, and he's going after the P4 that scattered out his base with these 2 Hellcats now, and it's completely unsupported AT-wise. So these 2 Hellcats are going to have a fun time sandwiching this P4 to death.
Here. This poor P4 getting minced. Here come the Grenadiers.
Wow.
All of them.
That was quick. Every single
quick.
shot penetrated, I think. Every single
It's because
shot.
they're so close. You know, the only place where Hellcats fall down is long-range penetration. In everything else, they are superior to M10s, and their penetration is very good.
We did only have 1 Shrek actually go in on one of the Hellcats, and they're now trolling this poor officer, which is forced to retreat.
No, he goes down.
That
because
officer didn't do much.
He gets the 50 cals when you call them in from OMCG. You get the extra 50 cals for free.
They're completely upgraded compared to if you use a la War Machine. You don't get the upgrades, you just get the vehicle back.
Yeah. So we have these 3 Hellcats chilling out. I'd like to see those guys get repaired, but you know, there's just all these Grens, these 4 Grens just chilling out next to the med bunker, getting repaired. There's some artillery coming down. I think it's coming down on the left-hand side VP, and it is coming down on the left-hand side VP. Hopefully Freestyler retreats. He's taking a lot of damage. He doesn't retreat in time. He loses the Vet 1 squad.
It's just a lot of rifles now. Like, a serious amount of rifles has gone down. He got a new one from OMCG, but it's completely unvetted, of course. Still has all the upgrades, so it's still gonna be able to fight.
The Hellcats are going in while weakened. I think he's going after the med bunker, but that's a bit of a dangerous game when there's all these
Especially as
grenadiers
a
around.
defensive med bunker, it takes so long to destroy it.
Well, with 3 Hellcats, I reckon you can take it down pretty quick, but...
Oh,
he cloaks them. Oh no, the sniper, the factory sniper, he got found by a bike.
Run away, sniper! Main gun destroyed on one of the Hellcats. One of the P4s goes down. The sniper retreats. It looks like he might be able to get out of dodge.
I'll follow the sniper, you follow the tanks.
Blood. The P4s are taking a beating from the Stickies and the bazooka on that Vet 2 rifle squad, but at the same time the Hellcats are taking a beating against the shreked up Grens. They are forced to retreat. I'm not exactly sure which player came out on top there. It felt a little bit like Freestyler came out a little bit on top, losing 2 Hellcats compared to 1 P4 down. What about the sniper? What happened?
Sniper actually miraculously survived, incredibly. The bike actually turned around, decided not to enter the base after he got to that negative cover road. If he had actually continued going, it was so low health he might have killed it. But I think Sandland is going to have a really fun time now. He's about to get himself yet another free grand. 2 of the medics survived to pick up casualties. And they're about to fill up that med bunker, so it's going to be another free squad, and that's going to be really, really useful for fighting this OMCG.
Yeah, there was no time for Freestyler in that engagement to stand around and focus fire down medics. He had enough on his plate with all the P4s and the Grenadiers. There's a free Gren.
The thing is, you know, in these kind of engagements, your top priority should always be the medics. And the reason why is that if you win the engagement, then, well, you win the engagement, doesn't matter. But if you lose the engagement and the medics are still alive, then you've just given your opponent extra squads. So it's a tough decision to have to make, you know, when there's like a low health grenadier, which you'd much rather focus fire. But ultimately, you got to take down those medics fast, otherwise it hurts. It really hurts. And we actually have a KCH squad now out as well. Vet 2 KCH. That's
pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. Against, you know, like the vanilla rifles from OMCG. Yeah, it's just...
Another OMCG is MG Mortar Rifle AT gun. So no vehicles whatsoever. Kind of a bummer for Freestyler, really. Oh, another rifle goes down.
But that was used on a vanilla rifle that was down to just 2 men anyway, so not particularly great use of munitions, I'd say. I think that was more just to try and keep the population pressure on Freestyler. No, KCH guy got sniped with a Hellcat, I think.
Yeah, he did. Why not? Neville goes down on the 16 fuel on the right-hand side. At the same time, we do have a bike and 2 pilots on the left-hand side. The bike is going to scout this AT gun moving up the middle road of Angerville. And there's an MG in the building as well that came out from the OMCG.
The Vet 3 sniper gets found and forced to retreat by the bike. So I guess that's job done for the bike. You know, that's the sniper out of the picture for the next couple of minutes. Even if he can't kill it, it's something.
Now these Grens are gonna need to do most of the legwork now that there's an AT gun out from the OMCG. The P4 is trying to tango with the M18 Hellcat, trying to take it down. Nice Nebel barrages. These Nebels! Man, these Nebels.
Sticky goes off on the P4. This P4 could be in a pretty bad situation, actually. He's immobilized. He needs to turn the AT gun, but it's gonna get bled to death.
Yeah, it got burned out by a Nebel barrage. I think like 3 rockets actually hit in the vicinity of the AT gun crew, and they all burned to death very slowly and painfully.
Now P4 is in a great location. He's right behind that hedge.
Nothing can go around the hedge, but he can still get sticky through the hedge. That's the problem.
Oh, and a Panther's coming along now.
A Panther? Where did that come from? Suddenly, Panther. And that mortar was very aggressively placed from Freestyler. He instantly lost to the KCH coming out from Sandland's base. What is that Panther doing?
He's shooting at the 57.
Okay. At the same time, we do have a Grenadier getting suppressed by a 30 cal in the strong building at the cutoff. That Panther is not really hitting anything. It's not hitting
at max
anything.
range, no.
No.
I'd like to see the Vet 2 squad throw a sticky through the hedge. Get themselves Vet 3.
Ooh, with a bazooka as well.
Yeah, it could be pretty nasty. I don't know if it's going to... It should give him Vet 3.
Should get him the kill. Destroy the engine again.
Just shoot it, point blank range with a bazooka.
He's got those skirts. The bazooka should penetrate if he gets a little bit lucky at least. Nope!
Or give the other squad Vet 1 by throwing the sticky. I don't know, what would you rather have? Another squad with Vet 1 or a Vet 3 rifle? That should finish it off. But my god, he paid in blood for that. Look at that squad, taken down virtually all the way. There we go, Vet 3 on the rifle squad, so probably worth the blood that he paid for. And actually, Sandland's army is getting... I don't know, he's still got all his Grens, but I was just looking at the number of decrewed weapons. His MG42 just kind of lying dormant, and there's no real field presence on the right-hand side at this point.
There's not much field presence from either player, really. Freestyler is just reinforcing his Vet3 rifle now. He's not going to reinforce the MGs and things like that. The building at the cutoff actually went down to a massive barrage of Nebel fire.
Oh, God.
Again, like all of the buildings on Angoville, I've never seen them this torn up. These Nebels. I'm really impressed. I'm going to start spamming Nebels if I ever...
There's registered artillery.
Yeah, right-hand side engineer goes down on the 16 munitions. These
And
reg
more
parties
KCH are coming
kills one squad every time, it seems like.
Sniper still plugging away, though. I think he's just not really getting enough kills to prevent Sandland from getting what he wants to get, which is more KCH. KCH to hunt down the sniper.
Yeah, the KCH response from Sandland is really good. We do have off my comic route used, AT, Hellcat, rifle, and an MG. So that makes it 2 Hellcats now for Freestyler.
Look at the suppression from that 30 cal.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's not doing anything whatsoever. They're more scared of getting squished by Hellcats. Wow, sniper runs through Nebel Barrage, escaping with his life again.
Whoa,
That's
look
a
at those
lucky
long-range
sniper.
Shreks. Freestyler needs more engineers to get these guys repaired.
Yeah, but he keeps losing his engineers to like the defensive RD and things like that over and over again.
And this
Big
AT
problem
gun isn't a
Freestyler
whole lot
too.
of good, but yeah, I don't know what this Panther's doing. He's just kind of chilling out, letting the Grens go first. Oh, now he's remembered that he exists. Here we go.
I think he's still afraid. He didn't manage to destroy either of the 2 AT guns that were decrewed, and they could be recrewed at any second, so... I think he might have passively been hanging out in the back in being afraid of AT guns, potential AT guns. I can hear the Nebel fire again. It must be a very, very scary sound for Freestyler's army because it's just continuously getting bombarded.
Yeah, it's another 30 cal cleared there. More hedges cleared. Double cloak and Hellcats, double bounce. Quad bounce. But I think actually AP rounds.
But with the AT gun there, he's forced to move back anyway. Look at
wow,
the
this
KCH, they're
30
just
cal
running
can't
through the
suppress this
suppression.
shit. But here we go. Wow, actually,
Anyway,
Vet3 rifles are there to put a stop to that idea.
One of the Nebels was actually not destroyed by the Nebel barrage, or the artillery barrage before, and it was recrewed. It only has 1 kill, but it probably had around 20 before. And the other Nebel has not been decrewed the entire game. 22 kills on a Nebel. What do you think about that?
That's insane. Yeah, normally Nebels don't really kill. That's not what you get them for. You get them for suppression and blob control, but...
22 kills. Oh, the engineers are actually taking the increased dot damage, and they almost went down. Very low health while repairing one of the Hellcats. Both armies are basically licking their wounds right now. Just repairing their tanks a little bit. But Freestyler needs this VP on the right-hand side now. He's down to 158 VPs.
VPs have been pretty close, you know, all game. I mean, there's only 100 difference, really. And the fighting is basically shifted entirely around this right-hand side field.
That was a cruel bike. He just came around the corner from the middle road of Angoville and just, like, shot 3 bullets at the MG crewman, and he instantly died. Oh, wow! Nice 280! Takes out both of the Hellcats!
He did not see that one coming.
That was an awesome bike scout. Seriously good bike scout from Sandland, taking out both of the tanks. So now the only real AT from Freestyler is the, you know, the potential sticky hair there, an AT gun. Two Panthers. Ouch. Freestyler is floating manpower again to get off my comic group. Oh, sniper lives due to focus firing off the bike with the Vet3 rifles. Oh, he's gonna lose another squad. He's actually gonna live.
Wow. Don't say Vet3 rifles aren't sturdy.
Target destroyed.
AT gun gets decrewed. Bar stolen. Amplifying the anti-infantry capabilities of that Gren squad. These KCH, they're taking a lot of flak. But they're
getting
still
picked
very,
away
very...
by the sniper.
Yeah, very slowly and steadily. 40 kills on a sniper now. It's almost as much as the 2 Nevils had.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this COH might go down on retreat. Vet 3 rifles focus firing him down, but it's not just getting it. The AT gun was recruited. I think he sacrificed an unvetted rifle from OCG to recruit that AT gun.
No, and the Veterinary Rifles take out a Gren squad, giving themselves yet another bar. So that's a Veterinary squad with 3 bars and a bazooka. I mean, the bazooka isn't great, but that is now like the ultimate anti-infantry, anti-vehicle.
He did have an OMCG. I think he got a rifle, an MG, an AT gun, and what else? Was he PopCap? No, it's not even remotely close to PopCap. He must have spent one Hellcat as well.
Everything on an Oswind, preventing him from actually having the manpower to reinforce his units, but he bought himself an Oswind, which has just arrived in the field.
Well, an Ostwind against the Vet 3 rifles, because you really need something like that against Vet 3 rifles. You know, Ostwinds or snipers or something like that. You can't really fight them with their grenadiers, even if they're Vet 3 themselves. The Vet 3 rifles' offensive capabilities are so strong, they'll still just grind them down. Even KCH squads goes down very, very rapidly to Vet 3 rifles, especially when they've acquired an extra bar and is now packing 3 of them.
Yeah, it does get a little bit painful. I can see there are 2 Grens near the road. Just chilling out. I can see they're waiting for a big flank, and actually they could do a big flank. I mean, you know, 2 of them would be enough to take on the Vet 3 rifles, I'd say.
I think the Nebel might be going down on the 16 fuel.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not really got any scouting vehicles around there to spot for it, but he knows that all of Freestyler's units are sitting around guarding that and trying to probe the right-hand side VP, because he needs the VPs. It's wider right now, so the drain has stopped.
All the artillery from this game is basically landed around this +16 on the right.
Yeah, and the houses.
Yeah, and the houses. It's all happened here, isn't it? And gradually, you know, there used to be a hedge here. There is now just one bush.
Yeah, it's a nice-looking bush. You know, if you're gonna do something with your Nevils, at least do some gardening. If you're not gonna do any other damage. Both players playing a little bit more passively right now. I think both armies have suffered a lot of casualties, so none of them can really just out-blob the other player. It's just not possible right now, because both players basically have the same amount of units.
You can hear the first sound of the Oswind. It's focusing on the AT gun. Oswinds are actually fantastic at killing AT guns and support weapons. They do a lot of damage and they do a lot of shots, so what else do you need?
Yeah, even if you roll a miss, the barrage, wow, that rifle got
a single
executed.
rifleman, he was
just running around on his own, chilling out.
He deserves the Medal of Honor for taking on all of that army himself.
Soaking up the scenery, and all of a sudden there were crowds everywhere. Didn't even see it coming. Poor guy. MG gets decrewed by the double Nebel barrage, which is... It lands a little bit everywhere, but I like that Sandland is like shooting and scooting with both of his Nebels over and over again. Even though that he destroyed the howitzer, he still does it just, you know, I think it's just something that it's trained to do. Just shoot and scoot with everything you got.
You never know when there might be a new piece of artillery floating around. 25 kills now, that's mad. And we actually have PopCap now for Sandland. He's totally PopCapped at 69 out of 69. I think it's all these Panthers. You know, having 2 Panthers, especially when you're not fighting that many tanks.
How much is one? 14?
It's a lot. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Off-map combat group used for Freestyler again. Hellcat AT gun MG and another bar rifle squad. So I think this might be, if Sandland is PopCapped, but Freestyler's army is still growing. Could be problematic in the end if he just sits around now, as he is doing, because he can't really probe the lines on the right-hand side due to all of the AT guns. He needs those 2 grenadiers on the left-hand side could probably do more use on the right-hand side.
Here come the Panthers. Oh, everything's hitting now this right-hand side. Charging down the AT guns.
Yeah, but there are 2 AT guns. AP rounds popped as well.
Oh my God.
Hellcat goes down. The Ostwind are trying to decrew AT guns. One of them actually goes down, the one that popped AP rounds, which is very, very bad for Sandland. He lost one of the Hellcats. One of them are close to dying. Neville Barrage in the middle of things, actually doing friendly fire damage to
KCH
but
goes down.
Fire down.
With more KCH getting sniped by the Hellcat and the sniper.
But basically all of the support weapons got killed for Freestyler now.
There was a 200mm rocket barrage to you somewhere.
Oh, it's in the base. The Grenadiers scouted in. Oh, wow, nice timing on the retreat. He couldn't
He just missed the timing. Yeah, he wasn't quite close enough. Just a little bit to the right, and he could have taken out the triage and a lot of units there. More off-map use here on the right, but I'd say that was a great attack by Sandland. Overall, he does actually lose a Flame of Pyre there to the off-map, but look at all these decrew weapons now. He can just roll up with an Ostwind and decrew the lot of them, destroy the lot of them even.
Yeah, he needs to destroy them quickly.
2 AT guns, 3 30 cals.
3 AT guns.
That could potentially all get decrewed unless he acts quickly. In fact, no, yeah, 3 AT guns. 3 AT guns, 3 30 cals. He needs to decrew them. He's making the job much harder for himself if he just keeps on letting Freestyler recrew them for cheap, unvetted rifles.
Yeah, OMCG rifles as well. They're basically almost... You could consider them basically free. You know, you get 3 units, and then you get this rifle guy that you just recrew with, like recrew material.
Yeah, although he is
pay
plugging away with the artillery, and here comes the Nibbles again.
And the T-gun is moving up very aggressively in support of the Vet 3 rifles that are probing around. They're looking for these Nibbles, I swear.
Wow,
Yeah.
Look at the accuracy on the Vet 3 rifles.
Look at the damage! Did you see that? It was 70% health and it's down to 5% from one bazooka.
Oh no!
Oh, run away! You need to keep
wow.
those rifles alive.
It's
Lucky
because they all
that
got
the
clumped
Ostwind-
up around that green cover there, and they just got...
Yeah, they got
rinsed
stuck in
by
the
the
same
Ostwind.
little hole. Same foxhole, all of them in the same foxhole while the Ostwind was firing at them. They only survived due to the Ostwind going into its reload cycle. If he had a few more shots, he could have potentially lost the Vet 3 rifle. And that would probably have been almost game, because then the KCH and the Grenadiers could have run around completely unopposed. Okay, now the Grenadiers are actually moving over to the right-hand side, has left the left-hand side alone. We do have one lone engineer squad going over there, probably to harass the VP mainly.
Allied Sniper still plugging away, 46 kills.
Yeah, infantry
Whoa, it's the
charge
charge
for
of
army.
the KCH. The 30 cal turns in vain.
Hellcat goes down to the 2 Grenadier squads from Sandland, while these Vet 2 KCH are just mopping up the field. We do have an AT gun trying to run away to the right-hand side, but the KCH guys, they are trained to smell the metal type that the AT guns are made of, apparently, because they
They can
knew where he
smell
was
the
hiding.
GIs.
Yeah.
And that AT gun bids good night. Freestyler's army is shrinking with every moment that goes by. Just that sniper and the Vet 3 rifle are really keeping him in it at this point.
Now he's actually destroying the AT gun, or attempting to do so, but that sniper is going to force him to retreat.
Oh, nice long range Shrek. Finishes
That was
the
a
job.
nice snipe. Very nice snipe. Look at the KC-8, they're coming in from behind. There are still Vet 3 rifles,
I don't
however.
know, they can't catch a
Sniper.
Vet 3 sniper though.
No, that's the problem.
You
I guess.
literally have to get behind a Vet 3 sniper if you want to kill him. Like, a side flank just isn't enough. You need to literally be at 180 degrees.
Combined with the Ostwind, these KCH should be able to handle the Vet 3 rifles. Actually, both of them retreats. None of them wanted anything to do with that engagement.
Oh,
another
another
off-back combat
MCG.
troop. Double rifle, AT gun, and another Hellcat. How many Hellcats has he gotten right now?
had
Oh,
so
unvetted
many.
rifle goes down.
Well, unvetted, that's not too
This
sad.
Ostwind, I think this Ostwind was a good investment for Sandland.
Oh yeah, it's done some great work for him.
Yeah, only 10 kills, but it looks like, you know, it's posing a problem right now for Freestyler, you know, with his Hellcats going down to the Panthers. The combination is really good. The combined arms with the tanks, the Ostwinds against the infantry, especially the Vet 3 rifles that the KCH and the Grenadiers can't really counter properly. And then, you know, the Panthers to protect the Ostwind against the Hellcats from Freestyler's OMCGs.
More Nebel fire, and off-map goes down on one of the Nebels.
Oh, decrewed as well.
Oh my god, that Vet 3 sniper. He's just all on his own against these two tanks, so they can't see him. Yeah, that's so sad. It's another nice VP harassment over here on the left-hand side, forcing Sandland to go and deal with it with the whole KCH. And Neville gets decrewed once again, but one of those shells from the Oswin actually hit right next to the sniper, taking over half his health away.
Well, this Hellcat might be a little bit too aggressive. Oh, there it goes!
Now, quite a lot of resources here for Sandland. He can literally buy whatever he wants. I dare say a counter sniper wouldn't be such a bad idea.
Well, the sniper is running around quite often completely unsupported. A bike might be sufficient.
A bike or
actually all he needs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, actually that's exactly what he is getting. He's getting a bike.
Good idea, I guess. I guess sometimes I have some form of clairvoyance, just like you.
See, it's just rubbed off on you. It's part of being near me.
It's part of TFN now. Clairvoyance.
Exactly. We are mind readers.
I wish I was a mind reader. I'd be so good at RTSs.
Map hacks, man. No, I can just read your mind. Duh.
Yeah, clairvoyance, man. We do have the Vet 3 rifles trying to deal with this Nebel. Really?
Is an interesting choice.
I don't even think that affects vehicles.
No, it doesn't. So I don't know
why. And the Nebel
is
is considered a vehicle, so. But there's a bazooka on that Vet 3 rifle. It decrews the Nebel, but it actually target priority goes over on the Panther. Nice Gren grenade does.
And look at this bike. Nothing. He's getting killed by the Vet 3 rifles garrisoned. Ha! He's not even going to be able to get the sniper. Unbelievable.
Oh, the Vet 3 rifles, however, are a little bit in trouble, forced to retreat. Here comes the KCH on the far right-hand side against an unprotected AT gun, easily going to decrew that, leaving his Ostwinds to move in unopposed again.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Wow.
KCH squad goes down.
Oh, there's another 200 mil rocket barrage. This time it's on the base. It might catch the Vet 3 rifle.
Might catch the sniper as well.
Unbelievable! They both survived.
How? How is that even possible?
They survived a 200 mil right on the heads. I mean, that one, the timing was perfect, really. And that Vet 3 rifle should have died. I mean, it killed two of the squad members, but
the sniper should have died as well, I think. It's just a scatter.
What is up with this Vet 3 KCH? Down to like 2% health. Still all three men.
They're just pro like that. You know, it's KCH squads. We did have another off-map used on the VP on the right-hand side. Stopping the cap, stopping the drain for Freestylers, down to below 100 VPs now. So it's getting more and more desperate for Freestyler now. We do have another OMCG. I think he got a Ranger, 2 rifles, and a Hellcat.
Yes, I believe he did. It's flood the field with rifles time, but there's still plenty of weapons to be picked up. You know, he could double the effective size of his army just by recrewing all this stuff here. Okay, you know, 130 cal isn't much good, but 330 cals, yeah, you'll suppress something with that.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. What if you get 330 cal overlapping each other? That should be a problem, even to KCH. Ooh, Vet 3 rifles were reaching for a sticky, but the Panther was nicely microed away from Sandland. Whatever happened to the second Panther? I didn't even see it go down.
I was just looking around for that. It must have died, but I don't know what to. It must have died to some like AP round ATGs or something like that. Maybe he let it die because it was eating up all his pop cap.
Might have been.
And this second Panther is actually in pretty dire straits now. Who's going to fire first? That's what it comes down to. Oh,
misfire. Misfire from the Panther saves the Hellcat's life. Damage engine. Wow, from the Ostwind. Really? Paper armor, I'm telling you. He's going to get shreked now.
And it bites the dust, but now all this Axis armor is looking ripe for the picking. I'd love to see those Rangers just charge in and just clean up.
You know what? I'd like to see something like the unvetted rifles or something. Steal that Nebel and use it against Sandland because it's been such a pain in the ass for Freestyler the entire game, but I actually opt to destroy it.
Probably not a bad idea. He doesn't really want to recrew that with Rangers.
No, but he does have unvetted rifles. They're actually stealing the MG42 instead.
Now that's not a bad idea. MG42, that will get some nice suppression going.
Yeah, the MG42 can actually properly suppress stuff compared to the 30 cals, which suppresses, you know, kind of when they feel like it.
Which is
little bit
very,
now and
very
then.
rarely.
Depends on what they're shooting at.
Oh my god, direct hit again on the sniper, but he
Most of the snipers
survives.
survive. That's the second time the Ostwind basically hit him, or
That
at least
guy has like 9 frickin' lives. I can see the Gren trying to get around this side of the hedge, but
oh, negative cover.
wow,
roll!
they actually
takes
hit.
a bullet to the head.
He did take a bullet, didn't he?
Yeah, it took
He
one
must have
single
taken
bullet.
it like in his foot or something because he's still alive.
How is he still alive? How's that even possible? That
He's just-
sniper just won't die.
He has a lot of lives. Oh, there's 200 mil rocket barrage. This time on the AT gun.
Etigan's just sitting pretty, taking shots at
Oh my god, it
Ostwind
killed the retreating Gren, but it's probably worth it because the AT gun goes down.
and destroyed permanently. I can hear the gun itself get destroyed during that barrage, so it's not recruitable. But it still has rangers. The bazookas against the Ostwind is okay, you know, as long as you don't run after the Ostwind while it's backing away from you.
We have a new
How's that trigger still
MCG coming in. Double 30 cals. Well, he could have 5 30 cals on an MG42. Do not complain about a lack of suppression when you have that much in the way
He
of
doesn't
heavy
really
machine
have
guns.
much to suppress, though. All of the infantry from
I guess,
Sandland is almost down.
Yeah, but most of it's dead, isn't it? And actually, he did finally build himself a sniper.
Oh, did he?
Which will
think-
probably work, because at this point, you know, Freestyle's probably assumed that there's not going to be any more snipers. He's tired of trying to counter-snipe, whatever. So he's going to get a little bit too ballsy, and he's probably going to lose.
One of the unvetted rifles on the left-hand side trying to cap the VP goes down to the Vet 3 now. KCH from Sandland forces off the other unvetted rifle squad as well. He didn't fancy the
artillery on the
side.
Gren and Panther,
Forces
but
the
lands
retreat.
harmlessly. Sandland is now the one under VP pressure. Unless he can take back some of the VPs on this right-hand side, where Freestyler has really got quite a strong force, he's going to be below 100 in just a few seconds.
Yeah, I think the tide is gonna turn when all of these under-strength rifles, because they're down to like, you know, 2, 3 men and stuff. He just needs to do a good attack and force a complete retreat, and then establish a foothold, just protect the left-hand side VP and remain in control of the top
problem
right-hand
is
side.
he's lost most of his Grens, and he's lost some of his KCH as well, so he doesn't have that much infantry pushing power.
No.
Oh, and the Ranger squad goes down to the Sniper, revealing himself just to finish off that squad, so I don't know, he's probably lost his window of opportunity to get a nice, easy counter-snipe on the Allied Sniper. It's now going to be quite a bit harder.
He's gonna have to work for it, but right now I guess the KCH and the Grens are gonna be left alone from the Vet 3 Sniper for a while at least.
No,
Due to the
overlapping
fear
30 cows forces a retreat.
There it is.
See, they are good for something. You know what? I'd love to see one of these understrength rifles just run across and grab Sandland's cutoff. Just put a really quick little stranglehold on his population.
Oh yeah, that would completely cut him off. That would mean he has one
You know,
sector,
one
I
sector,
think.
exactly. Yeah, you know,
One.
you could totally, especially after a nice big attack. You know, if he timed it well, he could prevent him from being able to reinforce any of his units. Could be game changing right there.
I just spotted the main problem for Freestyler now is AT, with 2 Ostwinds out now from Sandland. I think that is an extremely good choice, considering most of the fighting power is in those Vet 3 rifles and all of these, you know, under-strength, undermanned rifle squads running
There's
around.
a nice sticky on the Panther.
It's gonna do a load of damage too.
Yep.
Ow,
Almost
Vet 3.
like a quarter of damage done to the Panther. But now, yep, this is a big attack that you were talking about there, Fatal. Because
Yeah, the under-strength rifle can't handle 2 Ostwinds. It's just no dice. No dice.
oh,
And
everything's
30
getting
cals
cleaned up now.
Sniper's still
Even
running
the 30
around.
cows. There's so many 30 cows, and there's another bar there as well. And there's a mortar. Not that the mortar would do much good, but, you know,
Well, you can keep a constant barrage on a VP, maybe? I don't know.
that's basically it, yeah. And even then, you know, against Vet 3 infantry, you're not going to do too much.
We do have, I think he's reinforcing his Vet 3 rifles, that's it. And then he's floating for another OMCG. But I'm not sure what he needs to roll for a proper OMCG to win him the game right now against 2 Ostwinds and the Panther.
Double Hellcats, M8 might do it.
That even enough?
The aim strong call in. Yeah, I think it would be. I think 2 Hellcats, if they push with the Vet 3 rifle or with a sticky, could kill the Panther, and then
He rolled
There's
a
no
bomber.
more AT, but
He rolled a bomber.
oh,
MG
that is a
order
bummer.
AT gun and rifle. That's not what
Oh,
Freestyler
that
wants
is
to see right there.
that's not much good.
He could have built 2 Hellcats out of TD instead. That would have been better.
But that would have just
right
taken so
now-
long, and he just
True.
doesn't have the time for that.
No, time is of the essence right now with
Ain't
71
nobody got time for
VPs
that.
draining. Ain't got time for nothing, really.
The enemy advances.
I think either way, this is going to come down to a VP win. So I don't think either side really has quite enough to totally finish the other off.
No, that's the problem. Both armies have been grinded down to like the bare essence now. Few infantry squads, tanks from Sandland, you know, the reliance of OMCG from Freestyler, and that veterinary sniper that just won't stop.
I mean, just look at the way that Sandland's forced to back away just from the rifle charge.
The
200
280.
mil, 200 mil, rocket barrage. Oh, I thought he was going to make it out of there.
Ah, stray rocket kills it.
Oh, and there's a second Panther out now.
Oh,
2 Panthers,
KCH
2
running into the
Osmonds.
base.
Oh,
Not
he's going to
exactly
mop
sure.
up some squads.
Yeah,
He doesn't
I'll-
have the munitions for ramp
I'll
up. I think
keep
he's just
looking
going
at
to
the
stay
KCH.
here.
If you look at the attack on the right-hand side, the KCH actually finishes off an unvetted rifle squad.
Oh, and it's a full retreat here from all the rifles. This could go quite badly, actually. With the KCH in the base waiting for him.
KCH decreased the mortar that came from the OMCG.
Oh, he's focus firing down these little one-man squads. But he is fighting the effects of the triage as well.
Oh, nice grenade on the KCH. They're not
Wow.
retreating. Oh, huge damage. But
Sniper
now comes
misses.
the armada of Ostwinds and Panther.
Yeah, I think this is over now. Yeah, that with that KCH in the base was a nice little trick.
Yeah, he did all, you know, even though Freestyler is floating 160 munitions or so, if he had 3 rifleman squad, you could sticky spam one of the Ostwinds to death or something, but finishing off the low man rifle squads, the unvetted ones from Freestyler on that retreat, that was golden. Look at that sniper. That sniper
Oh
just,
my god!
oh! He what? He
took,
took like
like,
three shells from Ostwind. How are you still alive? That sniper is a monster. It's some form of a cybernetic. I don't know. What are you? A
He
T?
deserves a Medal of Honor to the
I don't know.
highest degree. That
don't know
is
what it deserves.
insane.
I think the crowd thinks he deserves a slap on the face at least.
You'd think, like, by this point, the Ostwind gunners would just jump out and just run,
Knife
run
him.
around. Yeah.
Just chase him down and just
Just
beat
like,
the shit out
fuck
of
you,
him.
man. This is like Boris the Blade, you know, that you have to shoot sort of 12 times before he dies. Oh no,
Here
oh
comes
no,
the
oh no,
last
oh no,
breath.
oh no, the snipers!
Sniper ready.
Oh, both of the snipers. Very close.
Oh no! That one didn't miss.
Finally, it's down. Here comes the OMCG without a Hellcat, Ranger, Mortar, and another rifle. It's not going to be enough against double Panther, double Ostwind. Sandland is very happy about killing that sniper. I wonder how
not
many kills he did have
surprised.
in the end.
He had 70 kills.
70! The mass execution of the American army outside of the base. Here it goes, playback over, down to 1 VP as a rifle flies through the air due to the Ostwinds and Panthers shooting at him. That was a great game.
Pink mist.
Very, very good game. Both players grinding down their opposing armies over and over again. You know, just the bare bones of the armies in the end. But I guess, yeah, Axis armor prevailed in the end.
I guess so. It's got to be those Porsche engines and Krupp steel.
Yeah, true that. Very, very good game. Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like this video, and tell all of your friends. And we'll see you guys for episode 72.
See you guys.